Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where you get caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits tied to our favorite team in the NFL. That is, of course, the Cleveland Browns, and welcome to our first Victory Monday celebration. Thank you to everybody who has liked our previous episodes, everybody who has subscribed to the channel. Like, we're within 30 people. I fully expect to be there by the end of today. I fully expect to be wearing a different outfit tomorrow for tomorrow's show, because once we get to 9,000 subscribers, every time we cross the threshold, I give the orange quarter zip a rest and I change the fit. That is my plan. I predict tomorrow will be the day I will be changing the fit, because I feel we will be past 9,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll get there. Also, thank you to everyone who has become members of the Brown's Latest Dog Pound, and to all of you who get your comments down there in the viewer comment section. Now, coming up on today's show, holy Schmidt, the Browns get their first win, and we'll celebrate on this Victory Monday. Don't get me wrong, but there is a big but that comes along with it. What did we learn from this win? Wait, I'll tell you. We need a new head coach. The storylines heading into the game against Detroit this week will be centered on, guess what? The offense. And in the viewer comments, why I need to get off of Stefanski's case. It's not going to happen, but we'll hear him out. But first things first. All right, folks, I might have been the only guy on the planet who thought, and here's a text I sent to my buddies. There's Minnesota Nate, of course, the greatest talent evaluator that nobody knows, Thrasovulu, and Soda Pop Dave, my three guys that, we talk Browns a lot in this text. And I sent that text at 12:52 p.m. And if you go into the viewer comments from yesterday's show, the first thing, I was the first one in the comments at 8 a.m. when the show posted, and I said, the Browns are winning today, or something along those lines. There wasn't a bone in my body that didn't think, just like I had the same feeling against Cincinnati. And, well, we know what happened against Cincinnati, but Holy Schmidt made up for it. But what a game, and what a roller coaster of emotions. And we got to talk about, there's so much to talk about. And we're going to try to keep this show, at a relatively decent length today. But let's start here. Browns beat the Packers, and this defense is absolutely ridiculous. And the special teams showed up. I mean, honestly, we played Browns ball. Like we talked about the other day, guards ball, how the Guardians, they don't have any offense. They're like bottom three in every offensive category in the major leagues. But here they are. They're one game out of the win. They're about to pull off the greatest comeback and win a division in baseball history. And it's going to start Tuesday night down at the old ball yard, Progressive Field. I'll be there Tuesday and Wednesday. So when we tie it and then take the lead, I'll be there both nights. But here's the deal, folks. Browns ball can work. You play defense, you get something from your special teams, and the offense doesn't have to do much. Just have to muster up enough to win the game. Now let's go back. I want to show you the keys to the game. We worked this to take the run away, make love beat you. Who lost the game for him in the end when it mattered most? Love threw the interception. The Delpit, that was a horrible pass. But we took Jacobs out of the game. Outside of that one little swing pass that he had, he picked up some yards on that. But Jacobs was not a factor at all. You limit the explosive plays, which we did from Love, and then in the offensive line, just restrict Micah Parsons, and I thought we did. Now we still have some issues. But I think the play calling is related to some of our offensive line issues. But they did enough to protect old man Joe, and we'll talk about that. I mean, it's again celebrating the win. Don't get me wrong, but there is a big but. There are lots of buts. I like you. If you like big buts and you cannot lie, this is the win for you. So let's look at some stats. Let's go with some stats here, and I'll tell you what. Look at Flacco's stat line. 140, 36 times we dropped him back again. We doubled, look at that. We ran the ball 19 times. We threw it 36 times. That should never happen. That should never, ever, ever, ever happen. Let's talk about the good stuff. Green Bay, what they did on offense, nothing, because our defense is literally made up of a bunch of cyborgs or something, and they got a defense. We have a defensive coordinator who's also a cyborg. This is a Super Bowl defense, folks, that we have, without question. This defense is good enough to take a team to the Super Bowl. Jordan Love, 183 yards. Josh Jacobs, look at this. Come on. 30 yards on 16 carries. Manuel Wilson, 25 yards. They held him to 81 yards rushing. Still, can't get over 100 yards. Teams cannot run for over 100 yards. And then they couldn't even throw the ball. Look at that. 183 yards passing. Golden with 52. I mean, we were sacking. We sacked Love 5 times. I mean, it was a party back there. Everybody was getting involved. Schlesinger. And I mean, here, Schlesinger had a sack. Garrett had a half sack. Malik Collins a sack and a half. Huntington a half a sack. Mason Graham a half a sack. Mason Graham had a 42% win rush rate on the day. The kid is a stud. Schlesinger is a stud. Denzel Ward balled out. Greg Newsome played well again. Delpit had the interception to set us up to tie the game. There's your defensive leaders. And what a mix of young talent on that defense with the veterans. I mean, just crazy. Like, they're tripling Garrett. They're triple teaming Myles Garrett because he's got so much help. All these guys are just coming from everywhere. So just a phenomenal performance by the defense. And I know I was all over Bubba Ventrone last week, but the special teams stepped up today. Thank goodness the android, Corey Boorquez, was able to punt yesterday. And, Andre Schmidt, boy, he came back. That just great for him. Just great for him to come back and kick. I mean, the extra point, I was sweating. I mean, just even the extra point. Sweating that, but to hit the game winner, to hit the one to pull us within make it a 1-score game. Just all of it for Andre Schmidt was just the whole thing. Just great. But here, I got to put up the defensive stats before we move on, because like we've got to give these guys their flowers, man. Like it's insane what this team is doing. It's just crazy. This is the best defense we have maybe in the history of the team at this point. If they can keep this up, are you kidding me? Schlesinger led the team in tackles again. 7 solos, a sack, and a tackle for loss. Then there's Delpit right behind him. That guy has been balling out. Devin Bush has been huge, and then he also had almost forced a fumble at the end when they ruled it. I had to agree with the ruling. I thought Jacobs got his hand back on the ball when Bush punched it out at the end. I really did think it. But then especially with the block, it's just the special teams that stepped up. The special teams and the defense stepped up. And so I had to show the defensive stats today, because these guys are carrying us. But here's the thing, folks. I've been telling you this for 3 months. This defense is good enough to carry us, especially early on. That's why that Cincinnati game, it's going to come back to haunt. Maybe not haunt us, but God, we could be 2-1 right now. And we were right there with Baltimore until halftime when we don't make any second half adjustments. And, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. How about this? The time of possession in the third quarter, we held the ball for 3 minutes and 34 seconds in the third quarter. That's it. We only had the ball for 3 minutes in the whole third quarter. The defense was out there for the entire third quarter and still had enough to get us this win. This defense, I'm telling you, we have cyborgs on defense and an android for a punter. Not a bad start. Oh, I'm telling you, like, God, there's no, look, okay. Love 18 to 25, 183, a touchdown and an interception. Of course, the one to Delpit. Flacco threw for 142, had an interception, a 55.6 rating. Ugh. And then we got Q, who runs 18 times for 94 yards. But we're gonna drop him back 36 times. We're gonna keep dropping him back almost 40 times. Like, this makes absolutely no sense. And you know what else makes no sense? Samson got 1 carry. You just can't. Why would you draft these guys? This should be Mack and Biner. We have the new Mack and Biner, and we are not using them correctly. So, here we go. Let's get into this now, because it's sort of the elephant in the room, but it's not really the elephant in the room. Like, what did we learn from this? What did we learn from this win? I learned we need a new head coach. The clock management at the end of the first half, again, just like the Bengals game, what are we doing? We got 3rd and 1. We're gonna play action and throw a bomb into double coverage. The play calling is just ridiculous. We're gonna put linemen in the backfield on 3rd and 4th and short, and we're gonna throw passes to linemen. What are we doing? The clock management, though, we have 2 timeouts. What are we trying to say? Why do we have to save these timeouts? What as good as our defense is, what are we saving timeouts for? Call the timeout. So no, we're going to go rush it up to the thing. Then we get the hold, takes us back, takes us out of the whole thing. Why? Why do we need to run the clock out in the second half? Because I know they're getting the second half, but who cares? Our defense is ridiculous. They haven't done anything on our defense all day, and you're worried about running out all the time? Call timeout. Points were at a premium yesterday. And that was the first time we had gotten close. The end of the first half. You got to put points on the board in that situation. And we're not calling timeout. Why we are not calling a timeout at the end of the half? I was losing my mind with this guy. Flacco's done. Like, this is over. It was over last week. We told you it was over last week. And it is so over now. He is playing so scared at this point. He is so afraid of making a mistake. He looks nothing like what he looked like that day I saw him in training camp. He is the exact opposite. It's gone from here. The confidence is gone. He's so afraid of either A, getting sacked, or B, throwing interception, or C, both. He's got nothing. And he can't move. He limits the offense. You can't do anything with him. You saw how Green Bay... Look, Jordan Love isn't a running quarterback, but at least you can get him out on the edge and roll him out. You need a quarterback back there who can move in this league. You got to have a guy who can move. You cannot put a statue back there, and that's what we have right now. Flacco it's over. This experiment is over. That's what we've learned. Stefanski's got to give up this offense. I want him gone. I want Jim Schwartz to be the head coach. I want Reese to run the offense. And we got to switch quarterbacks. Stefanski is not the reason we won. He is the reason we almost lost, though. 100%. We don't make any second half adjustments. We didn't last week against Baltimore. I mean, he is the reason we lost to Baltimore. That offense is horrible. The offense is putrid. It is his offense, his plays, and it is putrid. It does nothing. It doesn't even put the fear of God into a CYO team. Brutal. This offense, I mean, I don't know if I could say it's worse than when Watson was quarterbacking, but it's pretty damn close. No, actually, I think it is worse. And I don't think I'd ever say that. I didn't think it could get any worse than when Watson was quarterback. But right now, the offense is. Because here's the thing. We have weapons. We have things you can use. But we absolutely do not use them correctly. It's like you bought a Ferrari and you put a Yugo engine. If you remember Yugos, Pinto. You got a Pinto engine in a Ferrari. That's what we're doing here. Datsun engine. I'm trying to think of a car that everybody would remember. I mean, a lot of us remember the Yugo. Remember the Yugo? We got a smart car engine in a Ferrari with Flacco at the controls. That's what we have here. It's brutal. We're trying to run trick plays on third. We're on the 1 yard line. We're running trick plays. That just tells you he has no idea what the hell he's doing. Run the damn ball. That's all you got to do. Run the ball. Judkins and Sampson, they should have both of them. Sampson and Judkins both should have 20 carries each every single game. At minimum, it should be Judkins 20, Sampson 15. Minimum. Biner and Mack. And if we keep throwing swing passes to Jerome Ford for 4-yard losses, I'm going to lose my mind. Ford should never, ever be on the field. Sampson should be the third down back. He's fast. He's shifty. He's great with it. He can catch. He's great with the ball in space. He can make guys move. Ford's not making anybody move. This is what's got to happen going forward. You got to get Flacco out of there, and you got to make Judkins and Sampson the primary ball carriers. Run them to death. Don't stop running. We should put the ball up in the air about 15 times a game. It should be the complete opposite of what we're doing. We should be running the ball 40 times a game and throwing it 15. That's it. We don't need to be doing anything else. With this defense and special teams, we ran the ball for 5 yards a carry again. 6 yards a carry last week. 5 yards a carry against the number 2 run defense or whatever the hell Green Bay is. 5 yards a carry. But we're going to drop back 38 times or 36 times or 49 times. And why? It makes absolutely no sense. And the trick plays trying to throw passes to Whippler. And this is, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. He can't manage the clock. Can't run the offense. Penalties were a problem yesterday. Now, if you're going to ding the defense for anything, those penalties that extended those drives, of course, the defense. Here's the thing. The offense, you feel like we got down 10 points? I don't know how many texts I got that said this thing's over. We're not scoring 10 points. We're not scoring 10 points. Here's the thing. The defense jumps off sides or something, extends a drive, gives them a fresh set of downs. You still feel like we're getting off the field with this defense. I mean, it's just like, it just extends the drive a little bit longer. No big deal. That defense was on the field for so long. We were the time of possession. They had like a 9-minute or 10-minute advantage in time of possession. Did Green Bay, and this defense still did what it did. Unbelievable. This offense is so bad. It is so bad. I was at the point where when DeAndre Carter he fair caught that punt in the I think it was the start of the fourth quarter. I said no more fair catches. Because the only chance we have to score is if the defense picks one off and runs it down to the 2 like Delpit did, or we just need to run it all the way in. The other option is no more fair catches. We got to try and return every kick and punt because that's the only way we're going to score. Because it's not going to be for the offense. As long as Stefanski's running it, we're never going to. This offense is never getting off the ground with Stefanski and Flacco. Ever, 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 ever. Flacco is done. His confidence is gone. His confidence is shot. Now you're going to take him to Detroit with that defense in the dome where you're not going to be able to hear a thing. It's gonna get ugly fast. And so he already said Flacco's playing Sunday. That's it. Flacco's the guy. He's starting against Detroit. This better be the end of it. And I would have a short leash on him in Detroit. I would give him a couple series. If it goes nowhere, let's go. Next guy up. Let's go. And then it's going to be Gabriel. So let's just get to Gabriel and then Shedeur and go on with the rest of our lives because this Flacco thing is over. And the other thing we learned is, man, Schlesinger and Graham are freaking studs. Judkins a stud. Fannon's a stud. This rookie class could be the best. We could have the best defense in team history and the best rookie class in team history. And we have to give Barry a little bit credit on that. But I will ding him because we still have no offensive linemen. And God, it sucked, man, when DeJuan Jones got hurt so early in the game. And I was actually excited because he was at right tackle, his natural position. That's where he played at Ohio State because Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski are the kings of let's draft a right tackle and we're gonna turn him into a left tackle. We can never just draft a guy who plays left tackle. No, we have to make it hard. Like we talked about why do we have to make everything so hard? This is another thing we make hard. We draft right tackles and try to turn them into left tackles all the time. See Jed Wills, complete mess. Instead of just drafting a left tackle like somebody named Joe Thomas and then leaving him there for like 15 years like Joe Thomas and then going to see him at the Hall of Fame in Canton. 15 years later, like Joe Thomas. Like, no, we just can't do that. No, we're the smartest guy in the room. This guy, this right tackle, he's out of position. We're going to play a bit left tackle. But anyway, I was glad to see it, and then he got hurt. But we still, the offense, again, Browns ball, guards ball, still did enough to get a win, to keep us in it. The defense keeps us in it. And then the offense, just all they have to do is muster up enough. That's it. That's all you have to do. So, this offense is going to make me lose my mind. It really is. But that's what we learn. So the storylines now, heading into Detroit. You guessed it. Nobody wants Flacco quarterbacking this team anymore. Nobody. No Browns fan alive wants Flacco quarterbacking this team. And a majority of them, including me, Stefanski's got to go. He's got to give up the play calls, or he either just be the head coach or just go. I prefer, these guys are playing for Schwartz, man. Make Schwartz the head coach. Let Reese run the offense, and let's move on from this. I know that's never going to happen. I know it. But that's what has to happen. Stefanski is just not like I would have pulled Flacco from that game yesterday. I would have pulled him already. But no, we're just going to keep, just like Baker, we're going to keep running him out there. Just like Watson, worm burners, air balls. No, we paid $238 for him. We might as well got to keep throwing him out there. He does not do what's best for the team. He doesn't. 100%. It's going to end eventually. It's going to end at some point for him, because people are going to have, at some point, the right person's going to have had enough, and it's going to change. The other story, are we going to let Judkins and Sampson cook ever? Are we ever going to get Mackenbiner 2.0 rolling? That's a storyline heading into Detroit, because you want to limit that. I mean, they just hung like 52 on last week at home. So they're awesome at home. They are tough to beat at home. Dome teams at home, I don't like to mess with. Get a dome team out on the road, especially in the open air, completely different story. It's very strange, but that's how it works. That's how dome teams work. How about this? Will Detroit, with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, be able to run on this Cleveland defense? Nobody has yet. We have held the Joe Burrow version of the Cincinnati Bengals. So Chase Brown with Joe Burrow. Chase Brown, Derrick Henry, and Josh Jacobs, we've held them to under 100 yards, the three of them. So there's no excuses. Like now, you could key on Brown without Burrow. I mean, so because that Browning guy, he's horrible. But we had the Joe Burrow version of the Cincinnati Bengals, held Chase Brown and under 100 yards. Three of the top running backs in the in the NFL. We've held, and we ended Josh Jacobs' touchdown streak too. How about that? So, can Detroit, with their running game, run on us like everybody else? I'm gonna say no, because until proven otherwise, why would they? The other big storyline: can the Browns defense keep this up? How long can they keep it up? And what else we learned? And here's the other thing: Browns ball works. Can they go to Browns ball? Like, can we just run the ball, play defense, get a little bit out of our special teams, and just put the offense on the back burner? Throw the ball 15 times. I really hope but we don't change. We can't even make second half adjustments. So those are all the things that remain to be seen. Okay, I mean, I feel like I'm ranting and raving, and we won. But this offense is such the elephant in the room. It is such a problem. It's got to be fixed, because you can't win like this every single week. You got to get something, but you have to have an offense that makes sense. You don't need to be dropping back 36 times. You don't need to be throwing the ball down the field so much. What happened to our high percentage passes? What happened to the slant? Look, we threw the slant down there on the goal line and got pass interference. Where's the screens? Where's Isaiah Bond on a jet sweep? Like, get the ball in our playmakers' hands without putting it in the air for 40 yards. And Judy, disappearing act. But there are so many things that all we need, all of our problems are on offense. And Stefanski's in charge of the offense. That's my problem. Okay, we got to win. And the viewer comments always get a win. So we'll start with Temperius One, who takes the words right out of my mouth, who says, tag team Q and Sampson for at least the first quarter, and it wears down the D for later options. Judkins is a bomb waiting to explode, as we saw. That is, and I wouldn't say the first quarter, Temperius. I would say the whole game. Judkins and Sampson. And then both those guys, I would say, are ticking time bombs. You see what you get. You're going to get a 40 or a 50-yard burst from one of them or both of them at some point. You're just going to keep wearing them down, or you're going to figure out what the defense is doing, and then you're going to run the right play, and then boom, they're going to explode for a big one. We saw it with Judkins. Get the ball in their hands. They're our two biggest playmakers. Todd Parsley, 5164. Todd says, well, you can't knock the special teams this week. Now, this is what I teased at the top. No, I'm not knocking the special teams this week. This is Todd. And the offense did its job. Todd says, don't knock Stefanski. He had a great game plan. He's a good coach. The Watson thing wasn't his fault. I remember in odd number of years under Stefanski, we make the playoffs, and I think we will make them this year. Well, I've been telling you, I think we're good enough. I bet them over 6.5 wins. So I do think we can make the playoffs, but I'm sorry. Stefanski's offense, Stefanski's play calls, the offense does nothing. That has got to change, Todd. Can he just be the head coach? Please? Can he just be the head coach? I'll take that. I will take that. But the play calling, it's got to stop. He has got to take his hands off of all of that, Todd. Thrasovulu, the greatest talent evaluator that nobody knows. Although, if you watch this show, you might know who he is. Thraso. We have a Super Bowl defense and a bad college offense. And he's exactly right. He is exactly right. Watching this team play, it's like watching Iowa play offense last year. Like, that's how it's even worse. I think Iowa even was better than us on offense right now. Just Wicked J 80. I love Jess. Jess and I, we go back and forth in the comments a lot. He's great. He says, what a prediction, D Grizzy. You predicted 13-9, and it was 13-10. Way to go, D Grizz and Brownies. A win is a win, no matter how it happens. Hashtag Browns defense. And that would be Browns ball. We don't have to throw the ball all over the yard and look all fancy with our fancy offense. Just run the ball. Win ugly. In the end, it doesn't matter how it looks as long as you win. And what we're doing right now, we are trying to put a square peg in a round hole with this quarter, just like with Watson. We're doing the same thing all over again, and we've got two stud running backs, and we got guys that can block up front. They are good run blockers. Pass blocking? Good run blockers. I think they'd be better pass blockers if we would throw quick passes. Quit dropping back 8 yards and trying to. Flacco's just nowhere to go. If Shador was back there, you want to drop 8 yards, he's got escapability. We'll see what Gabriel's got. We're going to have to see about his escapability. But get Gabriel in there, man. We gotta make a move. Alshon says, so this was on Saturday, he sent this to me. On Saturday after the prediction pen called it without a doubt. He called the prediction pen said the Browns were winning without a doubt. And Alshon said, so if the Browns lose on Sunday, how about you throw away that pen? And then he wrote back yesterday after the game and he said, damn it, I guess the pen stays. Yeah, that's right. The pen's been right every week for what it's worth. We'll have to see what happens this Saturday. The pen, every Saturday you can see the prediction pen. That's when we'll do it. And we'll end on Gina Lemonade 64, who says, hey, I like your show. Thank you, Gina Lemonade. You bring energy, facts, history, and interesting insights. However, I am not a fan of the hokey stuff. The predictor pen and the dog and the tinny sound effects. I think she means the ball. Just be you and do the items I mentioned above and you'll get the subs. My 2 cents, so take it or leave it. Now, listen. I like to give you a little bit of both. It's infotainment. I'm actual and factual, but there's still that infotainment. There's the entertainment part of it, Gina. So I appreciate you watching, but the prediction pen has been right every week. So we got to stay with the prediction pen. I mean, for the love of it. We might be making people money for all we know at this point. But man, oh man, what a day it was yesterday. Our first victory Monday to celebrate. And, like I said, it does come with like a gigantic but, And hopefully they got to get away from this. But Flacco's already starting against Detroit, which it's not 100% surprising, but you got to have a short leash on him because the rookies couldn't do any worse. The rookies could not do any worse. So we got to make the move to the rookies, man. We got to do something because this offense, man, it's awful. It's so bad. Okay, Brownies win. That's all that matters. Let's celebrate the win, and then tomorrow we'll start get into ripping Stefanski some more, and the offense. But all right, hey, thank you so much. Oh boy, I hope you enjoyed yesterday. What a crazy it is! It is not easy being a Browns fan, folks. I'm telling you, it is not. But man, thank God we heard this after the game, all the barking, and we heard that to tie the game, and the barking. And the song. There it was. The ball never cooperates with me. I don't know why, but there it is. All right. That'll do it for today. Oh, man. Victory Monday. It feels good. Go Browns. We will see you next time.